Indeed, you know, it's an Artsy Thursday. Should we an Artsy Thursday, as Mike likes to say. And so we're about to have a conversation that will definitely interest you, especially if you're a lover of arts. Right here we have Dr. Sheyi Paul Oshodi, and he is a Lagos-based creative artist, a sculptor, and also a multimedia professional who is committed to changing the face of the creative industry in Nigeria. He established his outfits, which is, well, it was established in 2015. We're going to learn all about it right now. Good to have you in the studio with us.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Fantastic. What is your art studio called again?
Oshodi Art Gallery.
Oshodi Art Gallery.
And we also have a studio alongside with it.
Okay, so for those who have been seeing Oshodi Art Gallery in Ikorodu and wondering how Oshodi came all the way to Ikorodu, now you know it's named after the owner. That's why. Okay, so tell us about your art gallery. How did you come about it? How did you set it up?
Okay, well, I am an artist by profession.
Yeah.
And I graduated with sculpture in Obafemi Awolowo University.
Interesting.
That was 2020. And alongside, I've been practicing in-house.
Okay.
But my concentration, aside that, was multimedia.
Okay.
So I was into animation.
Okay.
I've taught a lot of people in the industry on animation, cartoon making, both 2D and 3D.
Wow.
So after so much, I have to join advertising agency.
Okay.
My last place of work was LTCJWT.
Okay.
And before then, I have a couple of works at home. And I've also been working time to time and equally acquiring. So as at that time, the gallery was set up in my room, in my house.
Okay.
So when it got to a time...
That must have been really choking.
Yes,
considering the amount of art we're looking at.
Seriously. So when it got to a time that I feel I should come out fully, because that is my passion. And you know when you have a passion, your passion drives you. So at that time, I had no any other choice than to set it up. And it was Oshodi Art Gallery Limited, which is my name I use.
Now, it's arguably the biggest in Lagos, but one wonders, most of the artworks were by you. However, how do you liaise with other artists? Because I'm sure gallery is made up of works not just by an individual, but by several others. How do you liaise with other artists?
In the past, we noticed that artists are not, they are not concentrating in terms of being in one place. But my experience in advertising taught me how to put 1, 2, 3, 4 people together. Because I started as a graphic artist and I left as a deputy creative director. So 17 years is not a joke.
Of course.
So I noticed that we're not doing things right in the art industry. So what I do was, you know, in art we have about 6 different specializations. So I have to get people from ceramics, painting, sculpture, textile, and others. I put everybody together, and the artists don't usually like to be in the payroll. But what I did was to institute that in my organization, that look, if you want to do this thing right, everybody must be on a payroll. So it's like monthly salary. When you come January, I mean on the 1st to 31st, you'll be paid. 1st to 31st, you'll be paid, you know. So on each section, we're producing and we're selling. So we're able to manage our fund within the scope of art. So that is how we started, and that's why we are in where we are today. And aside that, as we are producing, we are also training. We took training as part of our core value. Okay. We want to train people. Right now, we have nothing less than more than 60 students we are training every day in the studio in different sections. So because I inculcate that corporate, corporate thing in the system of art, we're able to achieve so much. I think that all those things contribute to the reason why we have a lot of work in the gallery.
On average, how do you value a piece of art? Like when you see a particular work of art, I know it's something that is taught in art schools. How do you value it for your gallery, for example?
Oh, we look at the materials, then we look at the content of the work. You know, it's not just about, there's something inside an artist before an artist will produce.
Yeah.
So that thing inside is also appreciable, is valued. So people don't know that art is a universal language. You have to communicate with art. You have to use art to solve social, political issues,
so
that when people look at it, and they will be relieved. Even somebody who is in the hospital, we have what we call art therapy. You have to look at art and you get relief. So those are things we look at. We look at the content of the work. We look at materials used. Because if you make use of fake materials, we value you less. If you use quality materials, strong materials, we value you up. So that also is part of things we need to consider in that. We look at size of the work, and we look at the things you put together to put the art together. Yeah.
Now, talking about things to put together, you recently put together a show. Yeah. I believe it's an annual event for children. It was it took place just a few days ago, an art event. Yeah. Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, I noticed that in the system we have today, there's a lot of issues. We will see most of our adults now, they take, you see them smoking in their home, they took a lot of drug. And I sat down, I look at it that there is an issue. The issue is maybe there was no proper orientation from childhood. So I now said, I want to use my art to solve that problem. Because anything I do, I use it to solve problem. I don't just work, and I don't just put things together. So I noticed that, look, this is the only way I can change the mindset of people. Because if you want to change the system, you have to start from the children.
Absolutely.
That's why I set it up, and I introduced this, we call it NACAF, Nigeria Children Art and Cultural Festival. And I did a proposal, sent it to Federal Ministry of Culture, Art, Culture, and Tourism in Abuja, and I was given approval to host it annually. So some of the team of the program, the team is catch them young. We catch the children young, and we inculcate moral value into them, using art as a catalyst to speak to them. So that's the reason why we set it up. We have done the 3rd edition. The 1st edition was like, okay, let's start it and see it. The 2nd one came, it was embraced by so many parents and children and schools. The 3rd one was, wow, that a lot of people were there. And the truth is, if you look at the items on the program, we have a column for drug abuse, where we call people from NDLA to come and talk to the children on how they can move away from this menace, because it's a serious problem in our society. Even small little boy is already taking drug, and we need to tap it from primary school, from primary, secondary school, and ensure that we communicate to them. So we now have to call the agency in charge of that in the program. Please come and help us. We gather the children together for you. Please come and help us to talk to them, tell them the implication, how this thing can be so harmful to them. So at that level, we resolve that. And in the program again, we have another one that have to do with food safety. We have to call NAFDAC to come and talk to the children on how they can preserve their food, how they can know the hygienic, how they can make their food being properly prepared and taken care of. So those people too, they came, they enlightened the students, talked to them on that, on food safety. Also, we called on Lagos State Fire Rescue to come and talk to the children again, because we need to tap these menaces from the childhood, from little baby. So they came to talk to them again about fire, how they can move away from fire hazard, and all that they can prevent it so that it won't happen and they won't get burned. So those people also came to talk to them.
I'm just quite curious. You have the artwork of children in your gallery as well? Because I know there are so many talented children.
We have a lot. Because before we started the program, we have about 1,000 drawings of those crimes, those things that are happening to children. So in the program, we showcase them. We showcase all those artwork. It's always 2 days program. The first day is day of advocacy that we talk to the children. We have exhibition alongside with it. So all those drawings were there, especially on child abuse. We have that displays around.
So for someone to put their arts in your gallery, what do they need to do?
You you bring the work. When we look at the work, we call the jury.
Okay.
We call our jurists to look at it.
Okay.
When the work is good, we'll definitely take it from you.
Okay, okay. So Oshodi Art Gallery in Ikorodu. Okay, so that's one to check, especially if you're a lover of art or if you're trying as much as possible to put your work out there. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Dr. Paul Oshodi. It's a pleasure having this conversation with you. We've reached the top of the hour. Wake Up Nigeria is what you're watching. The show continues in a bit. Please stay with us.